Okay, so I finished getting all of the stitching done, and now you can see how you have this sort of it's kind of like a zigzag snaking of the yarns from one side to the other with the chains. And you can tie this off and consider it finished, and you can do other types of embellishments with this at this point. I will show you how to create this cord effect that I kind of liked because it's sort of, I wasn't really crazy about the zigzagging on here. I don't know, it bothered me a little bit. And there are other ways that you could disguise that or incorporate the design a little bit more. I just didn't like these single threads. They just didn't work for me. So I came up with this cord to disguise it. So to do that, basically all you're going to do is you're going to run your needle. So I just finished off here. I'm going to run the needle through the stitches. So I'm just running the needle and the yarn through like this. And this is where all that excess yarn comes into play. So you could probably do this with about half the amount of yarn that, you know, if you're just going to finish it off at this point with the zigzag, probably just 4 yards or so would probably be enough for a book of the size that I made. But this cording takes quite a bit of yarn to complete. So once you have run the yarn through, now what you're going to do is you're going to just start wrapping the yarn around itself. So I'm just putting the needle underneath all of the yarn. And because of the zigzag, every other section is going to have an extra group of yarns, and then the in-between sections will just be that single one that we just ran through. So you want to have the yarn pulled fairly snug right here. This tension from here to here should be pretty good to start. You want to make sure that's tight. If it's loose, this cord is going to be really kind of flopping around. So you want to keep that tight. And then you're just going to continue wrapping the yarn through. And depending on the thickness of the yarns that you used and the spacing between your stitches will determine how many wraps you need to do. I found with my sample one, it was about 7 wraps was a good amount to get a nice wrapped cord. And that's what it looks like. And then you just kind of wrap over the stitch and continue on to the next section. The other thing I like about this creating this cord is it kind of helps you can make sure that all of your stitches it sort of helps get all the stitches lined up so they're all nice and straight, which I kind of have a tendency to like things to be organized. rather than chaotic, which is something I'm constantly working on. And you're just going to continue this, filling in all the way to the end. It's the second time I did that.